to everybody. My name is Philip Duran. I'm from the company ALPI, and I will be your presenter for the Caneco BT webinar. I suggest you to give you a first presentation of ALPI in order to have the best overview of the company for those who don't know us, and then I will show the Caneco BT software with all the new functionalities that we have included in the version 5.5, and I will of course give the complete details regarding the calculation part of this software. Some history. First of all, ALPI is a company was founded in 1986, and right now we can say that we are a leading company in the calculation and schematics software in Europe and Africa. We have got most of our clients are engineering consultancies, contractors, industrial site, and building owners. Some figures. We have closed our equipment last year around 7 million euros. We are 70 people, and we are based in Paris. However, we expand our activities on export sales, and we have created a company, a subsidiary in Germany, who cover Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. We have got also another subsidiary in Africa, which covers the west of Africa. We are going to create a company also in Brazil. Right now, we can say that we have got around over 10,000 licenses used worldwide, and we have got also some contract with manufacturers, and that represent 15,000 licenses. And we work closely with ABB, Ager, General Electric, Siemens, and it's dedicated for final users of Caneco BT software. This is right here the range of software that we provide. We have got our ALPI product with Caneco BT, it's a calculation and schematics software for calculation of low voltage installation. We have got Caneco implementation, which allows to create to place different electrical equipment on architect blueprint, on layouts, and this software allows to get a great added value because you have got automatically the 3D cable routing of each circuit. And also every bit of materials, length of cables, labels, legends, calculation of cable trace, and of course it's great help also for people who want to calculate this layout for getting the cable, the length of the cross section of cables, and also the different production equipment, because it communicates with Caneco BT automatically, so you don't have to restate the different data for the calculation. We have got also Caneco BIM. It's an add-on to Revit, and it's quite the same thing than Caneco implementation in the Revit environment, and also it's allowed to exchange data between Caneco BT or Caneco implementation. Caneco HD, it's a calculation schematic software for high voltage installation, and the complement Caneco TCC. It's a graphical software which allows to get the tripping curves of different equipment for high voltage and low voltage installations. Thanks to that, you can set your protective devices very easily, and you have got all the information for the setting of the equipment. All of this software we call that Caneco Electrical. Some unique selling points of our software. It's that we are able right now to provide different software with a large range of manufacturers. As you can see, we work with Schneider Electric, ABB, Siemens, Eaton, Moller, Hager, Terasaki, and Legrand, and all of these databases are updated under care. The great added value also is that we provide software for the different countries where we are present. That is to say that we can provide software for Belgium, for Germany, Italy, Spain, Africa, and its catalogs localized for the project that you are managing. Also, we have got for the low voltage electrical installation the possibility to calculate under 14 electrical standards, for international, European, but also for the national, domestic standard also, as French, British, German, Italian, Spanish, and so on. For high voltage installation, we have got the possibility to calculate with international standard, German and French one, and we are really involved also for the construction of ships. And right now we have got the possibility to calculate an installation under the marine regulations. Another thing also interesting, because right now we can provide the technical folder in 9 languages, as you can see, in English, French, German, Spanish, Italian, and so on. We provide services, of course. All of our software comes with technical support. We have got a training also for Caneco software and for French regulations. We are also able to provide you with HV engineering and assistance for specific tools like AutoCAD MEP or Revit MEP. This is here some example of projects which have been developed, designed with Caneco BT. So we can find some airports, some hospital. We work also in a nuclear area with marine shipbuilder for infrastructure like rail, tramway, or tunnels, and so on. We work also for towers, some public buildings, and oil and gas area. So it was the presentation of ALPI. Right now we can start the presentation of Caneco BT. So I will start with the presentation with the general characteristic of the software, and then we will go deeply into different new functionalities that we have included in the latest version of Caneco BT. So for start the presentation, I suggest to create a new project, and like that you can see the different steps of a design. First of all, we can click on new, and you open this window where you can choose by yourself the different manufacturers that you want to use for this project. As you can see, there is different category like circuit breakers, protective association, fuses, cables, and you can choose on the right side with which manufacturer you want to work. So by default it's set with Schneider Electric, but of course you can change by another one, and like this you can find that there is a really huge list of equipment and manufacturers, and it's arranged by years. It means that you can create a project with an existing protective device from 1990, for example, with ABB, and you can design the new project with the latest catalogs of a manufacturer. So we can find ABB, we can find Lewis, General Electric, Hager, Nokia Motor, Legrand, Merlin-Gérin, Motor, Schneider Electric, for alternative current or DC current. That's the case for Siemens and Schneider. If you don't want to give any manufacturer, you can choose standards. Like this, you don't have any brand in your project. Unilike end user. This is your own area where you can create your own productive device. So it was an example for general purpose, but you have got the same thing for curves, BCD, circuit breaker, motors, without thermal, and so on. Then you can see that there is cable, possibility to choose a cable, cable list, which cable you want to use. We have defined right here the different kind of cables included in the standard by per country. And you can choose by default the cable that you want to use for the project. Of course, you can change it for each circuit. A new functionality that we have included since the version 5.5 is the possibility to calculate cross-section cables with American cables, meaning in AWG. Okay, so when you are agree with the manufacturer chosen, you can say, okay, and right now we will arrive in this window where you can define your supply. We always work from upstream to downstream. That is to say that right now we have to choose with which kind of supply we have in this project. First of all, we have supply, so we can choose the type of transformer, if we have got a genset generator, or if we have got a board with short circuit currents by impedance, and also the possibility to calculate with DC currents. If we keep the transformers, we can choose here in the list which kind of power we have got as transformer. So it starts from 50 kVA until 2500 kVA. So for example, we'll choose middle one, 630, and we can define the number of supplies that you want to draw. So for example, you can draw 2, but in fact, in active supplies, you will have only 1, or you can set until 6 in parallel. This is an important thing because the software always calculates an installation under the worst possible case. So it will calculate at every moment the short circuit current, and you will set the protective device under the worst possible case. And the case for normal supply, but also for standby supply, choose a genset. Then you will be able to define the network, and the network can be defined with the standards. This is the time to see that we have got all the standards included in Caneco BT, large part of standards. The French one, European, international, and as you can see, we have got also different versions of the standard. It means that you can mix also the different year of the standard, from 2001 and 2009, for example. So IOC for Marine, for DCN, for Italia, for Switzerland, Portugal, Germany, British standard. Okay, I don't want to show everything, but until Australia and Brazil also. Right, we have got the earthing system here, where you can choose different kind of conductors. So TNS, separated or confused, you can choose. We have got the low voltage, where you can define from 60 volts until 1000 volts. And then we will arrive in the link part, where we can define the length of cables. So the length is the length of cable from transformers up to the distribution board, main supply distribution board. We have got installation methods already directly connected with the standard that you have chosen before. You can define a single core, multi-core, a busbar trunking system. Busbar trunking system work with a database also, where you can choose the different manufacturers available in the database. Okay, multi-core. So international, okay, copper or aluminum. You can set also the temperature. If you want another installation method on perforated tree, for example, and the temperature, it's always connected to the installation method. So, for example, cable trace, it's by default 30 degrees, and yes, it will be 20 degrees, but you can arrange it. You have got the group factor by default set at 1, but you can add some additional touching circuits, and you can change the group factor. As you can see here, the cable part is conductors is blank, and this will be fulfilled when we will perform the calculation. But first of all, I want to go to downstream board where I can set the braking device I want to protect the upstream, mean transformers. So here you just have to choose the kind of protection, so MCCB or ACB. You choose MCCB, you define calculate, and then the calculation software suggests you the less expensive protections, but also the protection which match all the constraints of the standard. Here you have got the caliber, rating, thermal, and ICU. So we can choose the first one. In the sheet here you can find all the different characteristics of the protective devices with thermal protection, short circuit protection, and the different ICU. So it's a really complete document, the mirror of the catalogs of the manufacturer. Right now you can see in the protection tab that the protection has been set also on the thermal stress, release, and the magnetic setting. We have included also the long delay for each protection. That's new functionalities included since the version 5.5. If we come back in the supply tab, you can see that the cross-section of the cable has been calculated. So we need two cables of 240 millimeters square and a PUN at 1995 millimeters square. We can see also on the right side that there is a result window where you have got all the results of this circuit. So you can see the criteria which has been saved for the calculation. So it's nominal intensity. We have got the current circuit design current. We have got the theoretical cross-section of cables. So theoretically, we have got a 225 meters square, but it doesn't exist. So it's up to 240. You have got the drop voltage. You have got also the different short circuit currents until the default current of the circuit. Okay, so we can continue. When I say OK, I've got a modification indexes window where I can see that the first index has been created, index A. I say OK, and right now I will arrive in this area where I can create my my installation. So I will first of all give you a quick overview of this environment interface. So first of all, on the left side, you have got something which looks like an Explorer and Windows, where you can set different information regarding the project. So we can say webinar, subscription, project number, and so on. Who are the clients? Who are managing the project? Who is engineering, control bodies, maintenance, statistics, and so on. We have got here a symbols library that you can use. in the single line diagram. The manufacturer files, where you can come back at every moment. So for example, we'll start the project with a Schneider Electric, but at the end or in the middle of the design, if you have got a better price, for example, for the equipment with another manufacturer, you can change it, and the calculation software will calculate automatically every circuit with a new brand. We have got a new functionality from the 5.5, the price management area, where you can set the different price and coefficients of sales for each component or label. We'll come back here later. There is additional document for printing, where you can add some other kind of document like PDF, XLS, doc project, documents, DXF, and so on. That is to say that you have got homogeneous presentation of your project. It's the same for you. You have got both single line additional picture for pictures like JPEG or bitmap file. You have got the project where you can show right here the graph of consumption. When you design a new project, it's really comfortable to see what's your intensity allowed, consumed, or available for each distribution board. And imagery, where we can see later the different distribution boards connected from the MSB. In the middle area, we have got the single line diagram, where, as you can see, we have got six transformers, and we can design and draw all the circuits directly in this area. We have got another one right here with board single line diagram, and we have got also a table right here where you can also copy and paste different information. It's really faster to use this kind of environment interface when you have to give information of cables or consumption, for example. Okay, on the right side you have got the result, as we said before, and also we have got right here the downstream short circuit current for all these circuits. We find out also again the libraries of symbols with different categories that you can use by drag and drop. We can see right here the circuit styles, so that come with every software. We have got all the kind of circuits already drawn. We have got circuit blocks. This is the user area where you can create your own kind of circuits. Additional diagrams, where you can drag and drop again the symbols like DWG or DXF symbols directly in the board single line diagram, and some drawing where you can create your own one. Okay, and to finish for the interface, we have got right here also permanent information regarding the different calculations that you are carrying out. Okay, so okay, I want to design two and calculate. Okay, so let's start with the possibility to create the project. So we have seen how to calculate transformers. We can right now create a supply, for example. If we want supply, we can define here the power. Okay, 400 kVA. We keep the same standard, of course, and we choose international. Unperforated tray. Downstream board, as we've seen before, we can define right here on the left side for the supply, and here for the standby. So here we can choose ACB, for example. We calculate. Right here we have got the list of equipment where we can choose the manufacturer's equipment, And we can choose also the number of pole to cut. Okay. So as we see here, N and S, normal for and standby. And right now, we have got also the different short circuit current for normal and supply. Yes, standby, sorry. Okay, so next step is to create a different circuit, supply with or transformers and gensets. So for that, there is different way. We can choose directly in the library the different circuit types available. So for example, if we want a distribution board, we can drag and drop right here, or we can create it more one directly in the list. So I keep right here. I define 2 circuits. Right now I've got 3. Okay, then I can create some bus bar for the first one. Create another one. Create 2 bus bar. On the first one, I want some like for a building, administrative building. I will create some sockets. Okay. Open 1, 3 here. I want some lighting circuits. 3 or so. Then for this one, I can use the circuit blocks right here. So I can choose a dimer, for example, with 3 motors. Okay. For this circuit, if I done a mistake right here, I can replace this same circuit with another one. So right here, I can choose, for example, transformers with backup supply. Ask me if I really want to change. Yes. Okay. And also I will create circuit style. I want to create this circuit, for example, emergency lights. Okay. So right here we have got complete installation, and right now to perform the calculation, of course, I need to give some information. Information at least must be the length of cables and the consumption of circuits. So there is different way also to do this operation. You can double click on each circuit and you will have this circuit sheet where you can give some information. So right here we can give a description, building 1. This circuit is supplied with normal and standby, but can be only supplied with normal. Okay. You can choose the number of conductors. It will be protected with the MCCB, and you can add also protection for indirect contacts. Every information are gray because this information will be calculated automatically with the software in design concept. Right here on the cable, we will define the length of cables. So for example, we'll have 40 meters. Right here, we'll define the kind of cable, copper, aluminum, or mix, cable trays, multi-core. We have got temperature, group factor, defined by default at 0.72. We have got additional factor. That's the new functionalities of the version 5.5. Before it was just a coefficient that you can give, but right now we have got by default coefficients. If you are in explosive risk, stun effects, and so on. Conductors, it's always blank. It will be calculated by the software, but we add new things right here after the calculation. I will show you. We have got right here the consumption of the distribution board. So for example, we'll have 200 ampere or kVA. We can define that the unity by yourself. So by default, ampere, but it can be kVA, kilowatts, watts. VA, you can define your own unit. Okay, so that has been set, and we can perform calculation. Or if I want to go faster, and if I want to give every information for every circuit, okay, I say okay right here, and I can go with my spreadsheet right here, where I can give the information for every circuit on my project. So for example, for this new board, I can give consumption directly here. I can give also the length of cables. For this circuit with transformers and UPS, I can give the consumption directly right here. I can say that, for example, I've got different possibility right here with speed timer. So that's new functionality also of the 5.5. You have got the by default consumption. So for example, for this one, we can define 273 or something like that, 45, let's say 45. We can give a use factor, and we can set the cost fee and the drop voltage maximum allowed on this circuit. Okay. Right. Okay, so the same. You can have exactly the same information right here. We just have to give the length of cable right here. For the emergency lights, we can choose directly in the list the different kind of lights that you want. So for example, one, and you can have more than one consumer on the circuit. So that can be set directly in this cell. So for example, you have got 4 lights of 18 watts. You have got use factor, and when we have got more than one consumers, we have got diversity factor that you can set. For lights, motors, miscellaneous heating, we have got start factor for cost fee, and ID on IN that you can set also. Okay. Here I just have to give a length of cables, let's say 45 meters. And everywhere here you can see that you have got different information that you have got in the window, but you have got also directly in the spreadsheet. You can modify the different information right here. Okay, I just want to change something in manufacturer's file. By default, it's Switzerland. Okay. As you can see, when we make a modification, he asks me if I want to apply these changes to all circuits or only on the new circuits. So, of course, for this project, I will change to all circuits. And right now, it will be set by default on XLP. Okay. Right now, we've seen that NSB was done with different information. I can do the same for every downstream circuit. So for sockets, for example, you can go fast right here. Got 45 meters. I want 5 sockets in this circuit. I want to copy and paste all of that. I will do the same for lighting. For example, 236 for consumers like that. And I've got the length of cables of 29 meters. Okay, let's create a new one. On the bus bar, we see that the consumption is under -7 ampere. So that helps you to give consumption, the loads of the different circuits connected by the bus bar. So for example, we can set at 10 ampere right here, and we can give 32 right here. We do the same for the distribution board number 2. We have got a bus bar on top. Here I can double click. So right here we are with protection with circuit breaker without thermal. as we can see, we can choose for another one. We have got all the kind of protection with RCB, ACB, sorry, MCCB, MCB, fuses, switches, disconnector, contractor, breakers, or without any protections. Okay, right here I can set the installation methods and unperforated tray, cable trays. Okay, the consumption will be something, let's say, you can choose in the list, maybe not for this one. Okay, so we can say that 63 kVA. We have got an internal drop voltage that we can set here, so 2%, for example. And right here, we have got additional data. No, okay, so that I will calculate after everything. So right here for motors, for example, here we consider that the motor are protected with circuit upstream, so with the dimer. So here we haven't got any protection, but it would be helpful to calculate the cross-section of cables. So for example, here we can define the length of cable with the 45 meters. We can define here for 61 and the for example. Okay, and we can set also the power of the motor. Maybe for those who know Caneco BT, you can see that right now we had also possibility to have monophases or two phases or three phases conductors on the consumer directly. Okay. Okay. 5. Right. Let's see. I think right now everything is operational and ready to be calculated. So this was helpful to. You can see to complete to fulfill different information for the calculation. We have got different kind of representation. So right here you can see the board simulate diagram where you can see the distribution board and the emergency lights, and then we can move from another distribution boards to see what's connected. Okay. So if I want to perform a complete calculation, there is a different way. I can click one by one circuits, and I can perform the calculation for each of them. As you can see, the software calculates automatically the protection, and it sets also the protection on thermal, stress, and magnetic also. And also for RCB protection, we have got the possibility to define the protection, the project 2.2, and also we have got the time delay also for this kind of protection. And we can calculate with these values. So that when we change anything, we have got a protection locked. It means that the software can be design software for new projects, so it suggests you the best solutions, but also it can be useful for an existing installation, and you can check the conformity, the compliance of the installations. So right here there is different ways. So you can let in automatic choice. You can make a user choice by model. So in this case, you will choose in the list what is the best solution for your installation. Also, you can discuss discrimination. That's very interesting because you can see directly if you have got selectivity with the upstream. So, for example, if we keep this one, we have got a total discrimination with the upstream. So we can say OK, but there you see the check is done on RCB settings. Okay, and the other possibility, if you don't find your protection in the list, you have got also the possibility to create your own protective device and to give it a name and the different information for the calculation. ICU for backup, and also the rating, thermostat setting, and magnetic setting. And in this case, the software will check if this protection is compliant or not. Okay. So that was for the protection. We can see also the conductors. So the conductors have been calculated automatically also. We have got the possibility to choose how we can supply these circuits. So one conductor or two conductor per cable. So here this is the way to find the best solution for the contractors, for example. Okay. Come back on automatic choice to calculate. So this circuit is compliant. We have got right here the cables. We have got also here the maximum length of cables protected. So as you can see, we can go up to 180 meters. Then we will see appear some short circuits. So it will be helpful also to find the best way to optimize your installation. You have got the spherical cross section. We have got the max current admissible, the drop voltage of the circuit, and the addition of drop voltage with the upstream. We have got also, of course, all the short circuit current, monophases and triphases, minimum and maximum, and the magnetic setting maximum. Okay, the discrimination. So here it has been defined by the curves. We have got discrimination, okay, with thermal and magnetic, and all these discrimination are displayed thanks to this button. You can make appear the different curves of discrimination. So the clear blue is the circuit where I am right now, and the upstream is defined with dark blue right here. We have got also the coordination, cables and protection, and right here we can see that the cables are well protected by the protections. Okay, so that was for one circuit, but if I want to go faster, I can perform a complete calculation. Back in this view. Okay. And right here, I can perform complete calculation. So complete calculation, it means that you will find the cross-section of cables and protective devices for all my projects. If I click on calculate, it suggests me to make a power requirement on all the installation. So as you can see, all is red because it's not yet calculated, but we can already see that the availability of each circuit are really large, because right here on distribution board 1 we have got 96% of availability, and you can see for the rest. So if you want to adjust this consumption, this intensity, we can define right here, down of this window, the availability wanted. Right here we can set that on distribution board 1, for example, so I choose this one, I want only 20% of availabilities, including the sub-bus bar. If I adjust right here, as you can see, the values have been modified, and I've got only needs of 8 ampere to supply the different circuits. Okay, if I cancel all of that, it will give me the unbalance between the monophasic circuits. So on distribution board 1, I've got an unbalance of 16%, and MSB 200%. And then he will perform the calculation of all the installation right here. Okay. So right now everything is green. It means that all the calculation has been done. We come again on this result area where we can see that there is some orange values. It means that it's a critical calculation. So for example, short circuit 29 meters protected. We have got spherical cross section again, and we can see if we have got discrimination or not. On this kind of circuit, there is specific circuit because right here we have got a dimer, and downstream we can define also if we have got a supply. So for example, for the UPS, we can define right here 600 kVA. Okay. Right. So right here we have got a possibility also to have got transformers LV, LV. We can create another one. For example, if we want to change the voltage right here. So here I will see on the upstream after that. So if I want to change, okay, for example, 220 volts, okay, but first of all I have to change the upstream. Okay, so here I define the length of cables, LPE. Right here I can choose the kind of transformers I want. 31 kVA, and downstream I can choose if I want to change the earthing system. For example, if I've got an IT without neutral, I can choose the content of cables, and I can change also the drop voltage. And right here we have got here the cross section of cables, and we have got the protection. And always we can see that we have got a discrimination on thermal stress exclusively. Okay. So for a monophasic circuit, for example, we can also give an information for the power balancing, phase balancing. So right here you can see that he has done automatically the balancing between the different phases. So here we are with monophasic circuits. So as you can see, he makes the balancing automatically with different information. So you can unbalance this data by yourself, and you will adjust it directly on the schematic. Also, we can give some information on the schematic. We can double click on the downstream board, and we can add some terminals on power circuits and not calculated circuits. Okay, so right here you can see terminals, and if you want to mark this protective device and terminals, we can click right here on the X or on Tools and Ref Marks, and you can check the boxes protective devices ref marks and terminal ref marks for all distribution or only for active distribution. You can give an automatic ref marks. So this is a way to choose the name of distribution board, circuit, and so on, and also for different equipment. By this button, change marking, you can choose how you want to name the circuits and terminals. You can keep on this one, the hierarchy of the installation. We can say OK, and right now we can rename. So automatically you can see that you have got a number for each protection, and you have got the ref mark also on this protection. Okay. What's also important, you can mix different brands. So for example, on this circuit or this circuit, for example, okay, or this circuit, for example, if you want to change the brand of this element, you can choose right now here in additional data. I don't want to work with Schneider Electric. I want to choose another one, Siemens, for example, and then I want to calculate. So he keeps Siemens, and he chooses good equipment with good settings, and we can get also the discrimination curves between the Siemens and Schneider equipment. With the version 5.5 also, we include the possibility of the logical selectivity. So all the reflex parts under calculation also, and yeah, possibility to have a better selectivity when your short circuit currents are really low. We have included also the possibility of to filter some information of pole, for example. So by default, every boxes are checked, but you can define by yourself the number of poles that you want by default. So that's only for this circuit, but you can have this information for all the projects. So if you don't want to cut the neutral, for example, or if you want to cut it, you have got all the possibility to do that. Okay. For monophasic circuits, for example, I come again here. We have got also here the possibility to choose the conductors, of course, and you have got the possibility to have a consumer only on one pole. And you will automatically do the balancing between the phases, but it will be also helpful if you want to choose a protection with 3 poles, for example, but a consumer with only 1 pole. So that it wasn't possible in the 5.4 version, but right now with the 5.5 it's possible thanks to this possibility to choose the number of poles of the consumers. Okay. One more thing also with version 5.5, there is a possibility to get temperature right here, automatic choice. As you can see here, we have got the thermal protection rating, and we have got underclassment with a step of 5.5. Before, sorry, it was a step from 10 to 10 degrees. So that has been modified also. Okay. So right here, I will recalculate a part of my distribution board that calculated. So I can choose right here the area of calculation by an F8, sorry. I can recalculate all circuits. Okay. You can see also in the version 5.5, maybe you pay attention for that, you can define the coupling of the supply. So it can be star, triangle, or zigzag. And it will be an influence and the reactance of the circuits. Right here, you have got the different impedance and it will change some factors. Okay, there is a new possibility also in Caneco BT. We have seen it very quickly before. The possibility to get another view, and that's something new. The possibility to have got folio mode. Folio mode is a new functionalities where you can create your own technical folder directly in this area. So for example, right here you see directly what kind of document you will get on the printing report. Okay, you can choose right here another way of board single line. So for example, this one is for contractors with 10 circuits. So as you can see, you have got all the information directly viewable by this window. And the great thing is that you can make some modification. For example, right here, if I move to this circuit, I can create on this one, I can create a new circuit socket, for example, and you will create it directly in this area. I can double click and it will give me a window to implement the information. Okay. So right here you can create your own documentation for each distribution board. Okay, but we'll see later that we can create also the front panel and the enclosure and the price list of the equipment. But first of all, I want to show you the documentation that you can print directly. You can have right here in Tools the possibility to create your own folder models. So by default, I've created some of them. So for example, for this presentation, I want to print my first page, my folio list, my network single line, my calculation sheet with 3 circuits, the conformity sheet with 4 circuits, the board single line contractors, the list of cables, cables nomenclature, protective device list, curve discrimination, coordination, cable list. So all of these documents are can be added directly from the available documents that you just have to drag and drop in this area. You can adjust your presentation and move some documents up and down. If you are agree with that, you can say close and we will click on preview. And right here, you will create all the documents automatically. So right here with my first page, where you can add your own logo, you can make a name for the project, drawing, and we can move into different pages. So right here my folio list, if I want to move directly to the network single line, I just have to click on the folio list. So right here I can see my single line diagram with labels with all the information required for my installation. It's really easy to read. Then I've got my information, calculation information results for the normal supply and the standby. Okay, so network, source, link, protection, impedance, and different results. So all the protection with standby and normal has been adjusted according to the worst possible case at every time. Huh? Okay. This is right here, the calculation sheet with 3 circuits per page. So you have got on top the values for normal and standby. about intensity, short circuit current maximum, and drop voltage. And then you can see for each circuit that we check all the constraints of the standard: nominal intensity, drop voltage, short circuit, indirect current, contact, and short circuits. You have got the name of the circuit and also the number of consumers, consumption, different cost fee, the ref mark, the kind of cable, the length of cable, top voltage. We can check also the ICU and the circuit breaker, and for switches also. We have got the results if we have fixed some value, meaning if you have defined by yourself the cross-section of cables, the boxes will be checked. And you have got the cross-section of cables. You can see down the protection and the different settings, the results for the cable cross-section, the IKEY short circuit information, discrimination with or without, not applicable, and the short circuit downstream at the end of the circuit. So all this information, you have it for every circuit. Okay, I done then in another kind of document. So right here we arrived in the board single line diagram, where you can create directly this kind of document, and where you can send it directly as DXF. So it can be for one page, but it can be also for all technical folders. So there is different kind of this document about single line diagram with more and less information for schematic or for values. Okay. We arrive right here in the power requirement for supply and standby, and you can see the availabilities for each circuit. We have got here the cable nomenclature, so that's helpful to order all the cables for the project. By per section, you can see the length of cables. You have got the same thing for protective devices with quantity for each circuit or all the projects. You have got the protective device setting, so that's more dedicated for contractors or panel builder. And we have got the conformity sheet here, right here, with all the information. So right here, it's more a document for control bodies, for example, or to validate an installation with the client. So that you have got a lot, because for each circuit you have got a page. We can see here the coordination cables protection. And we can see normally activity didn't choose in this document. If I want to choose another one. So right here, yes, there is a window where you can choose in which languages you want to print your documents. So it's German, English, Spanish, French, Italian, Dutch, Portuguese, or Portuguese from Portugal. Okay, and I would like to print curve discrimination, not in Portuguese, but in English. And also you can choose which distribution board you want to print. Okay, and you can see the document for low voltage discrimination. All right. So this is a typical technical folder that you can print with Caneco BT. Another thing interesting also, and that's possible for some version of 5.5, it's the possibility also to calculate the cabinet, the enclosure of a distribution board. So, for example, if I want to recalculate all these projects with another manufacturer, this is something absolutely possible. So we can define that with Siemens, for example. So we will recalculate all my protective device with Siemens equipment. So right here is the time to see that we can apply the changes to all these circuits. Okay. And another question, really important also, because if it's an existing installation or if the installation as started by the contractors, for example, you can choose to retain the calculated cable. So if it's totally new and if you are in design state, you can retain calculated cable or do not retain the calculated cable. So in this case, I will recalculate all my installation cables and protective devices. In this case, I will recalculate only the protective devices. So everything will become red. I have to recalculate my supply. Okay, so right now it suggests me the Siemens equipment. Okay, so I will only have to do that with my supply, so standby and normal. Calculate. Okay. And then I can calculate my complete installation. Okay, so here, VU. Okay, so right here, I've calculated everything with Siemens. Okay, so right now, if I want to get the enclosure of my equipment, I can just click on which distribution board I want to do the automatic enclosure. So I can say that to place here. I check the box, the button cabinet composition. So it will reload all my projects with equipment, with protective devices. And right now it will suggest me a window where I can choose which brand and which kind of enclosure I want to use for this cabinet. So for example, right here we work with Siemens, but it will be soon available also with the Schneider Electric, ABB, and Legrand. So right here we can choose Sivacom, because right now we are with compatibility with ampacity, but we can see that we have got some others. Okay. So Sivacom X4, we have got the IP that we can set, we can choose the installation, we can define the width of the cabinet. If we want a duct, internal or external, we can choose it. We can choose the size of the duct, and we can check the box here if we want a bus bar in the cabinet, in the duct. We calculate the cross-section of the bar, and you can give also the spare capacity right here. So 10% for example here, and 20% for each plate. Then I just have to calculate here. Okay, so here define some enclosure. And if I want to see it, I just have to click on the front panel. And right now, I've created automatically my cabinet of my installation. So as you can see, there is right here my protection Q1, Q2, 1.1, and so on, Q3, and so on. If I want to make some changes, because it's possible, if I want to double click in this window, we have integrated also with version 5.5 the possibility to create your own equipment with your own functionalities or accessories. This is called device technical choice. And in this window, you can define in one window what kind of functionalities and characteristics you want for this protection. It's very useful because right here you cannot make any mistake. We always suggest compatible protection. So if you want to change the presentation, for example, with rubber chassis, if you want a tripping right here, with a shunt trip, if you want auxiliaries right here, you can define it. If you want upstream connection, RC, chassis, okay. So all of that can be set by yourself, and you will adjust it directly in the component. You can do the same for this one, for example, shunt trip, auxiliaries, red direct. So all of new characteristics will complement the description of the list of elements. And every time you have got the price here, and the price are calculated on the public price of each catalog for each country. So for example here, 4,000 euros for these elements with the characteristics. If you find the same equipment, the same characteristic in the project, you can choose to modify the protection, initial protection for all the projects. So we'll integrate all these new functionalities for the same protection. Okay. So right here you have got some drawing possibility also if you want to give the size of the cabinet. So you see right here. If you want to give the width right here. So that's very useful if you want to predetermine your cabinet, because sometimes in pre-design you have to give the size of the cabinet. So right now you are able to give this information to the contractors or panel builder. So all of that was the first step, but right here also you have got the nomenclature of components. As you can see here, for MSB, we have got the references of components, and we have got also the price. Every new functionalities we have added on the component has been integrated directly in the list. You can see here 3 columns with discounts 1, 2, and 3. It means that you can adjust also your price according the different discounts that you can have beside your shop. You have got the same thing for enclosure, for cables, for the project, cables from the source, and for the source also. Okay, so all of that the first step, because right here you can see the price of your cabinets, and you can also play on the labor prices. So for the project or by price sheet, you can adjust the sales and coefficient of sales of the different labor category of your installation. You have got details also, so the list of price for all the projects. Okay. You have got the manufacturers that we have used, so 100% come from Siemens, for example. And you have got also the possibility to adjust the price with discount families. So right here you can integrate also different discounts that you have on your project. To finish, we have got the possibility, if we have got the project 1 year later, the first time you have designed your project, you can update the price list of your project automatically. So it will refine the good price at the moment you can get the order of your clients. So all these new functionalities have been included in the version 5.5. There is so many else again, but for that I suggest you to take contact with us directly. If you want more information, I will be very glad to give you all the rest of information that you need. Okay, so this presentation is finished. So I thank you very much for your attention. And if you want to have some more information, I suggest you to write this phone number or email address, and it will be wonderful if I can give you any additional information. So thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you soon or hear you soon. Bye-bye.